All right, the next technique is vertical graduation with a stationary guide. You can see how I sectioned this off. It's from the occipital to half of the ear. So we have like a U shape. This is also known as a graduated bob. This is just a shorter version of it. So we're going to start in the middle. Again, graduation is buildup of weight from short to long, usually short at the nape, longer at the crown. So we're going to bring everything, once we cut our guide, everything comes to that. So the good thing is it's a stationary guide. The hard thing is all that's going to be in your hand at one time. So we're going to do the nape area first. So similar to when we did our concave, we're going to start with the center piece. Again, if it's convenient, get rid of hair, right? Find your system, work your system. Hair at 90, finger at 45. I can decide how fast or how slow I want to build up my weight. This is a fairly short haircut. So we're going to cut some hair off. Hair at 90, finger at 45. A lot of times I like to put my knuckles right there because it's just a stable guide for me and it works. Again, stationary guide. Every subsection is over-directed. So if it's over-directed to the middle, it's going to get longer to the sides. Always understand that. Hair at 90, finger at 45. Remember the dance step, as my mom would say. I can see my guide. I'm going to pull all that this way. So when I let go, it's going to get longer. You're going to see an A-line look. Hair at 90, finger at 45. Find your guide. Make sure you're standing in the middle of your work. Follow your guideline. So now when I let go, see your graduation, how it gets lower here? Because I over-directed it. If I over-direct it this way, it's going to get longer that way. So now we're going to go to the other side. How's that? And we're just doing the same exact thing. Okay? Stand in the middle. If I need to get rid of the hair, get rid of the hair. Find your system. Go right back to the center. The center is my guide. It's a stationary guide. Stand, make sure you're in the middle. Follow your guide. Everything's coming straight across. I'm comfortable, so I'm going to take the hair in 2 goes. So now it's going to go everything into the center, just like concave layers. Okay, so if you think about it, it's kind of like a concave technique, but we're doing it in the nape area. Very similar. I would recommend that you take a couple more subsections than this. But I can see my guide, so I'm comfortable. Don't overdo it. Make sure you see your guide. So once again, when I let that hair go, you can see the graduation, and then it's getting longer, kind of like an A-line, like I just said. So I'm going to flip it back. Sorry about that. This is where it gets a little difficult, but you can see how everything's kind of set up nice for me, right? You can see that graduation, and you can see that it's over-directed, so it's getting longer to the front. That's exactly what we're doing. So now we're going to take vertical subsections, and we're bringing everything this way. Everything's coming to that guide, and I'm keep building my weight this way. Where people make a mistake is they start flattening out. I need graduation. I need to build that line the same way, all the way through. Everything's coming back to my center guide, if that makes sense. Come right here. Stand in the center. And again, my palm is up so I can see everything. Come right down here. And I keep following that line. So I have a guide there, and I keep following my line. So yes, I'm over directing my interior to my exterior. We're getting longer. It's an exterior technique. Because we are in the curve of the head, it's going to be pie shape. Because you got to go around the head. Bringing everything into the center. This is actually a quick way to do a graduated bob. It's worked for me for several years. Some people do it differently. Not saying that's wrong. You're going to see I'm going to run out of hair fairly quickly because that's a long ways to reach to make it all the way through. And that's okay. Bringing this all the way. I'm combing it straight. Not combing it up, not combing it down. Straight. That's a lot of hair in my hands. Right? Again, think about your system and what works for you. If I can't handle all that hair, do half. Go to the center. Make sure you're standing in the center. Body position is absolutely key when cutting hair. Combing the hair is really the most essential part. Cutting is easy. Cutting it correctly is the hard part. This all zone 2 is going to stay in zone 2. Everything comes back. I'm going to check that because I'm anal retentive. I can see that it's a little long there. So I'm always checking my work anyway. Bring it this way. If it doesn't reach, don't cut it. It's always going to be the case. Don't cut what's not there. Some of the hair from the other side's coming over. Still join us. Check the middle. So when you look at this side, you have a graduated bob. Okay? Go to the other side. Do the same exact thing. I'm going to go a little quicker. If you don't understand, make sure you go back and just go back to the other side. Bring everything back to the middle. I always grab a piece of my previous guide on the other side to make sure that I'm correct. If I'm in the middle and I grab the center, I should have a nice clean line. Keep in mind, it's an exterior technique. Graduation is exterior. I know a lot of this is not going to reach. I'm comfortable with hair in my hands. I'm going to take this all in one go. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to check my zone 1. Just to make sure if anything reaches, which it does, that I cut it in my zone 1. My guide's right there. cut palm up so I can see everything in my hands. I'm going to go to my zone 2. Bring everything back, straight back into zone 2. Not down or up, straight back. Go right back to my middle guide, because that's where everything is. It's stationary, which means the guide does not move, everything comes to that. Here's my guide, make sure I'm in the center. This one's more of a visual check. Once you blow dry, you want to make sure your lines are smooth and even. But you can see the graduation, buildup of weight. Since I over-directed everything back, it's going to get longer going forward. So that's vertical graduation, stationary guide.